Good afternoon. It's Allison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Allison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, which is on the west coast of Canada. Thanks for joining me today. I'm just going to make sure that I'm broadcasting to where I need to be. So we're going to get on. Let's see here. Looks like I'm broadcasting, but the question is, am I actually live in my Facebook group? So I'm on, should be on YouTube, and I should be on my Facebook page. And I'm just going to check to make sure that I'm on the Border Buddy Hangout group. So I'll just do that by checking my iPad here, which is being very slow to open. So I'm feeling kind of slow today too, so I'm not going to get, come on. Oh, no, that's not me. I was looking at thinking, oh, is that me? Let's see. There I am. Okay, make sure I've got sound. And whoops, open that. Yeah, got sound. Oh, there's everybody. Hallelujah. We're here. Who we got? Hi, Diane. How are you? Hi, Mo. Hi, Christine. How are you? You are on Facebook. Thank you. I need all the help I can get. Nice to see you on here. I haven't had you visit for a while. Hope you're doing well up there. And it's Prince Rupert, right? I think you're in Prince Rupert. Hi, Ellie. Okay, guys. Well, we're cooking with gas, as they say. I say that a lot, but I was watching a show that I used to watch years ago. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary, but I used to watch this years and years ago, sort of before the Love It or List It and stuff. It's a British one, and it's location. Did anybody else watch that? Anyway, I noticed yesterday I was watching a rerun. She says, she doesn't say we're cooking with gas. She says something with gas, or something with gas, but I always heard it as cooking with gas. Oh, hi, Bobby. How are you? Nice to see you. I think this is a good time for you to come. I think this is the lives that you attend. Hi, Keisha. How are you, friend? Well, the weather has changed here, and I'm sure anyone in Ontario would be like, send the weather here, because it is a nice cool, although it started to rain a bit today, but it's cool and it's not too muggy, so that's kind of nice. All right. What are we going to do today? Well, we're going to work again with the beautiful gallery suite of products. I'm going to make some gift cards in a little box to put them in, so stay tuned. Don't leave. All right, so this is a mega suite. It's on pages 52 to 55. Oh, it even goes on to 56 and 57. Ooh, it is a mega suite. When I say that, it's because it's got two bundles. So we've got the stamps, and then we've got the coordinating dies, which I won't open, but you can see them in the catalog, okay? And then it's also got a 3D is it 3D? No, just a regular embossing folder. It's called Damsk embossing folder, but it's one of the larger ones, so that's nice. It's got these embellishments called pressed flower motifs, and it's got some pretty ribbon. This is really nice. It's, I'm already out of camera. It's beige, and basic beige, and it is 3/8 of an inch. So the star of the show in any suite, for me, is the DSP. So let's look at that. Now, I have a class coming up on July the 19th. I'm going to be mailing out the products next week. So if you want to come, you got to register. And I think I have enough to fulfill another 2 kits. So, well, maybe three kits. So register if you want to come. So what do you get? Well, we make 8 cards, 4 designs, 2 of each card. And we just give you the envelopes for the one that you're going to mail. So 4 envelopes. You're going to get half a pack of this gorgeous DSP. And let me show you it, because there's 2 sides, right? So there's side number 1, and that's side number 2. Side number 1. Oop, I guess I shouldn't do it like that. I want to keep these. No, I want to do it like that. Oop. Number 1. And then number 2. And then I'm not even going to try and do this. I'm confusing myself. Side number 1 and side number 2, and then side number 1 and side number 2. 1, 2. So you can see, look at this. So you're going to get all 24 sheets, so half a pack. Holy mackerel. As part of your goodie bag. Okay, aren't these pretty? I don't know which ones. I like both sides. This one is the only one I'm not sure of. But anyway, love this one. I think I was saying the other day, if I could get wallpaper and put it up in my bathroom, I would on one wall. I love this. People still wallpaper? I think they do. Okay, so that's one side. So isn't this great? Look at all the different choices you get. Also don't know what I'd use that for, but hey, who knows? So that's the 24 sheets. You're going to get that in your goodie bag. Plus, as I said, you're going to get all the pieces that you need to create the 8 cards. Okay. And then you're going to get a pack of the embellishments, and you're going to get 5 yards of the ribbon. Okay. So that's mailed to you. Now, for people like Bobby or other people, this is at the completely wrong where I'm working. Okay. I'm going to be working here. So I need my stuff here. If you don't live in Canada, you can still join. You just buy the PDF and you cut your own product. And you join us online in Facebook where we create together. And we also give you what am I trying to say? The PDF. Oh, recordings. We give you the recordings. Oh, gosh. So sometimes when I'm stuck, I look at the designs or what the artists have chosen to do with the products. And then I quickly either adapt it, I case it, I copy and share or selectively edit, or I make it, maybe it's a card and I make it into a box or vice versa. Okay, so today we're going to create some gift cards and then a little box to put them in. So let me grab what I'm starting with here. Now I like note cards, mostly because if I have a note card, I don't have to write as much. I'm not good at writing on the inside. I'm going to admit it. Okay. So what I've done is I've grabbed one of our note cards. So these come in packs of 20. So this is the basic white. And they come with coordinating envelopes, matching envelopes. Okay. So I want a square card though. I don't want a rectangular card. So this is 7 by 5, I think. So I'm going to cut this so it's 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, and I'm going to keep this piece because I can use that on something else. Now I could go and just cut a piece of basic white, so that would be 7 by 3.5, right? Folded at 3.5. But I wanted to use the envelopes. I still want to use the envelope even though it's not exactly the right size. Okay. So that's how I got my card size. And I think what I'm going to do is go over here. Hi, Sarah, watching over there. And Mary Louise. Oh my gosh, friend. Okay, if you don't know Mary Louise, if you don't have a Mary Louise in your life, you are lacking because she's so much fun. I love her. Nice to see you. Are you in Wasaga Beach? I don't even remember where you live. You live somewhere. You've retired and moved somewhere. North Bay? Wasaga Beach? I can't remember. You'll tell me. You'll type it in there. Okay, so what I've got, you guys, is a piece of designer series paper from the pack. So it's kind of this, I don't know. It looks like almost like a paint technique, right? I've got that. And then I've got a scrap of basic white, a scrap of soft seafoam, and a scrap of pecan pie. Okay. I'm looking at this thinking, what is this stuff? Oh yeah, that's for my box. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to cut out a square frame. So I've grabbed my favorite. You know what my favorites are? My favorites are stylish shapes. So I've got I don't know what size this is. I should have checked that out. It's the third smallest, maybe. I'm going to say. So it's 2.5. And then I've got I've got a littler one here, and that is 1 5/8. Okay, so those are the sizes. And what you do is you nest those in there like that. And I would use repositionable tape. to hold those in place. Then run it through the Stampin' Cut in a Bus. Now, I accidentally cut 2 earlier this morning. So, hi from North Carolina. Hi, Joanne. I figure, why would I cut another one? I'll just use this one. So that's how I did it. Okay. And then when you take these off through the magic of television, you end up with this square. And you end up with one that has got the stitching around the inside and the outside, which is kind of nice. Okay. All right. Well, I got this the right size. Do you ever do that where you think, is that the right size? No, that's not the right size. I've cut this wrong. Okay, that's all right. Oh, gosh. This is your first time visiting me. My apologies. Oh, I know why, because is this the one I wanted? This is the one I want. It was a different thing. Yeah, I'm good. Phew. Back. We're back. All right. Now, what I want to do is decorate the back or the front of my card. Okay, so I'm going to need a piece of scrap paper. Here we are. And this is the front of our card. Going to grab some images from the stamp set. Which stamp set am I gathering it from? The beautiful motifs. Okay, so I'm taking this one here. This looks like kind of old-fashioned wallpaper, doesn't it? I've got crumb cake. And I've got that image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bunch of stamping on here, but I want to take the secondary, second generation. I don't want it too dark, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stamp on my project. So you just have to remember each time to stamp off, stamp on, stamp off, stamp on. I sound like that, you know, that commercial, clap on, clap off. That's what it sounds like. And then I'm going to put that one down there like that. So just keep staggering it. This one is very forgiving. This stamp, if you accidentally stamp over the line before it, it's not going to affect anything. Okay, so you can see I'm just creating this nice kind of vintage background. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's what we've ended up with. Okay, now let's glue this down, although I'm now looking to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. No, I'm going to glue it down. So where's our square? And let's glue that down. That's pretty too, isn't it? That side's pretty too, but I'm going to be adding some stamped images, so I don't want it to be too busy. So, you know, I love my white glue, you guys. If you don't like white glue, it's okay. I'll still be your friend, but it's so much easier. I can't use the seal. I'm just not good enough at it. Okay. All right. So next up, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap basic white. This time I'm going to use the image from Gallery Blooms, this one here. Okay. I don't know what kind of flower that is. It's almost like a bluebell, or I suppose you could color it even to look like lavender. So I'm just going to stamp that on here. There we go. And then let's color that in. You guys are awfully quiet. Somebody say something. Oh, I should refresh over here because sometimes it doesn't refresh the comments. There's Sarah saying hello. Now let's grab, what do we got here? We've got Balmy Blue. I'm going to use the dark Balmy Blue. I'm going to use the light Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm going to use the dark Soft Sea Foam. Okay. Aren't those pretty together? Is that nice? Okay. So I'm not worried about actually doing a blend technique. Like I'm not going to go dark and then add some light and give it some highlights or whatever. I'm just going in and coloring this like it's markers. Nothing fancy here. This would kind of look nice in Highland Heather or something to depict lavender, wouldn't it? Let's try that. Okay, so there's my flowers. And for the leaves, I'm going to take the lemon lime twist and I'm going to color on what I'm determining is the underside of a leaf, because it's always darker, right? Underneath a leaf is always darker than the top of a leaf. And then I'm just going to add the soft sea foam on top and blend that in. Very subtle. These are very subtle colors. Okay. All right. So that's what we've ended up with. Pretty simple. And because we love Stampin' Up, we have a die that cuts it out perfectly. Okay. Stick around at the end and I'll show you some more samples from this fabulous set. Hi, Vicki from Sydney, Australia. My gosh, what time is it in Sydney? I used to know how to do it. Add 12 and then another 8. So it's 2 p.m. at 2 a.m. So 10 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, maybe? Something around that. Maybe with daylight savings, it's different. I don't know. You're in the morning on Thursday. That much I know. All right. Here we go. So look at that cut out perfect. Love that, right? Make sure that's going the right way. So that's going to go across the front of our card. But we have some other elements we want to cut out. I've got this little leaf. And I'm going to cut that out of the soft sea foam. Okay, so let's do that. This is not a hard card to do. And of course, you could make this, if you wanted a regular size card, just cut out more of these and kind of layer them and play with it. That would look really nice. See, now that's what I want to do the rest of the day. Oh, my picker has come off of my... Gosh, you guys, it's one of those days. One of those days. My take a pick is now just take a, no pick. Here we go. Put that in, and because I like this to use in those little holes they give us so that we can poke that out. Okay, so that's what we've got. And then I think the last element I want is a saying. So I've got my pecan pie, and I've got my Versamark, and my board, my embossing buddy, and I've got black embossing powder, and I've got my scrap paper. So let's give that a swipe. For those of you who don't use an embossing buddy, you need to get one because it takes the oil off the cardstock. And when you do that, you end up not getting embossing powder where you don't want it. It's just going to stick to the words and not to where your oil from your fingers might be. Okay. I hope you can't hear my husband. He told me he wouldn't scrape outside, but he lied. He's scraping. Oh boy. But anyway, hopefully you can't hear him. Oh, I know. He didn't say he wouldn't scrape. He said he wouldn't bang. Okay, fair enough. He's not banging. Huh. All right, let's heat set that. Oh, hi, Alexina. How are you? Hi, Kathy over there. Are you coming to this class, Kathy? I can never remember which one you're coming to. The Beautiful Gallery? You might be. So, like, just a reminder, you guys, you have to register because I have to mail out the goodie bags by well, not next Monday. I guess it's the Monday after maybe. Anyway, I need to get enough supplies for you guys. So, please don't delay. Okay, so that's my just a note. And I'm just gonna, I could probably just do this with my paper snips, but I'm just gonna put this in my little cutter here. And I maybe would have made that a little bit. See, now I'm just gonna use my snips because I didn't like the way that was cut. Such a small little word. You can get away with it. And just bear with me. Just going to straighten that out. Okay, that's good. And I am just doing this as simple as anything. I'm just cutting off either end straight. Okay, it's pretty simple. If you haven't cut it straight enough, then you can cheat and do this, where you put a little edge on it, like an angled edge, and then people think you did it on purpose. All right, so here's our pieces. Let's grab some dimensionals. So this piece here, I just want to glue this behind, okay? And for me, the easiest way to do that is to position it like that, because I am going to be popping this piece up. So I'm going to use my dimensional to anchor that piece to the other. But of course, you can just use your glue, right? And dot it on there, and that'll be fine. Okay, let's see. I think that's good. Got the paper off of everything. Okay, so we're going to just layer that like so. Okay, and then I want some twine, linen thread here. And oh, hi, Connie. Oh my gosh. So nice to see you, friend. My friend from Minnesota. How are you? Okay, so let's tie this in a nice little bow. I want it to be quite delicate. Almost looks like jute, you know, like when you go buy, well, we buy lavender here, fresh lavender, which I have in my bathroom all year. It comes kind of wrapped in paper, brown paper with some jute around it. Looks very French. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to just use a regular size glue dot. Oh, hi, Mary. How are you? Nice to see you. We're going to just glue dot that on there. Like, I think I'm going to do it more like an angle, like that. Okay. And then we've got our just a note, right? So we're going to let that free fly here. I'm going to put a dimensional on the end of this because I want it to be the same height as my flowers. So I'm just going to do it like that. Okay. And then just to finish this baby off, oh, there's our pretty embellishments. And I'm just going to use the small ones only because this is such a small area that I don't want to be too, don't want to get it too overwhelmed, right? I think I'm going to do one there and one there and then a third one here, sort of like that. I like threes. Okay, so there's my card. So then when I was making this card, I thought, oh, maybe I can show you guys some different cards with the same elements, but maybe not as complicated. So here's what I did. I want to just show you 3 different ways. So if we start, get these in order. Okay, so if we want to go simple, like this one is the simplest because all I did was stamp it right onto the card and color it and add some twine. Okay, so that was kind of the easiest one. But if you notice here, what I did was I went around the entire object, flower, gosh, with a pool party blend because I wanted it to give a nice little shadow. Okay, so that's the easiest one. Okay, then if you want to step it up, here's a stepped up. Okay, so this one, I stamped another image from the set. So this one here, twice in black on the background. I stamped the flower just like we did for the card we made together. And I colored it the same way, added a bit of twine, and then just stamped the words right on the card. Okay, so that was number 2, kind of stepped up. And then stepped up again. We've got this one. So this time I took that same stamp that we stamped on the whole back of that other card, but I just did it across the middle. Same elements, all the same elements. Okay, so you can see this one I've just added that nice square and stamped the entire background. So can you kind of see Thanks, Kathy. Can you kind of see how each one is stepped up? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I want to make a box to put these in. You've seen me make this box before, but here's the instructions. And you could take a screenshot if you wanted, or write it down, or watch the replay. So you're going to start with a piece of cardstock, and I'm using Secret C. Okay. And it is cut to 7.5 by 10.5. Then I've scored it 1 inch around the entire, every edge. And then I've also scored it at 4 3/4 and 5 3/4. Okay, so that's what you get. I'll leave that up for a sec. Now the next thing you want to do, I just stabbed myself with my scissors. Oh. What you want to do now is we want to cut these. This needs to be cut. Okay, so you're cutting up. Ooh, I put the wrong thing there. You're actually cutting up from the bottom edges to the first score line. Whoops, can you see that? So there's the score line. You're cutting from this edge to the score line. Okay. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I had to think about that for a sec. Having one of those moments that I might have, you know, when you do something a lot and then you go to do it on camera and it's like, what did I do? I'm having one of those moments, you guys. Sorry. Now, because we want to fold all this and fold these in, it is a bit easier if you actually cut a little slit. You'll see what I mean. See this? I just cut in as an angle there. It's just going to be easier to fold. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing over here. I'm doing one from there and one from there. Okay, so just pull those out. You'll see when you've made a box before, you'll see by doing this, it just folds better than if you don't. I know I did do this right. Although I think I might have did this. No, I did that one right too. Wow. Jinxing myself here. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's what we've got. Now let's give that a nice little fold here. I treated myself to a new bone folder because mine are so awful in terms of what they look like on screen. Although my sister gave me this one with my name on it, which I like, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd treated it nicer. Let's put it that way. Wish I'd been kinder. Okay. How's everybody doing, by the way? I am going to be a bit longer. Normally, I'm only half an hour or less, you guys. So, but because we're making a box, we're going to be a little bit longer. Not a lot, just a little. Okay? All right. Next up, I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to bring in a piece of paper here. I want to decorate the front of my box, but I'm not going to do that yet because I want to stamp something first. So I'm going to be stamping this image, which is this one here. It looks like, oh gosh, looks like, what's that flower? St. Mary's something. My brain's gone blank. I'm going to stamp it twice and cut it out. Once in color in cloud cover and once in Secret C. Now I've got this large cloud cover because demonstrators were allowed to buy it. But that's okay if you don't have it. You can use a re-anchor with one of the Stampin' Spots. That works too. I just happen to have it, so I use it. All right. Anybody else got anything to say? No, you're all very quiet. I need a piece of scrap. Here we go. So here is the cloud cover one. Close that up. And I'm going to need such a light color. I'm not even going to bother worrying about cleaning it. Queen Anne's lace. Thanks, Diane. See, I got the first part. Queen Anne. And then I was thinking lace. It's a nice flower for your garden if you don't have one, you guys. And if you're in a climate where you can grow it, we can grow it in Vancouver for sure. Okay, so there's my two. one light, one dark. And then, where did I put that there? Sorry, guys. And then I want to use the same one on my front of my card or box. So let me grab, I do have to clean this off. So I didn't get my chamois ready, so I'm going to use just a baby wipe here, or a clean wipe. Okay. We're going to grab, I need this, because I want to kind of, it's only stamp the front, but I don't want to have it, what's the word? I want it to look like it's going off the page. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to cover up the box side and just put a piece of paper there so it won't stamp on that. Now I'm going to grab our white craft ink. If you don't have the white craft ink, just stamp this with the Secret C. That'll work too. So let's just do a couple of those, maybe like that. And I can hear my husband talking to my dog. Don't know why he's talking to my dog. When he knows I'm doing my live, he probably thinks, oh, she's done. It's been half an hour. So you guys, let's hope there's no banging, or I'll have to get up and bang the door, the window. Can you see this? Okay. I'm not worried that it's off there. I don't care, because a lot of it's going to be covered up anyway. And we're just going to kind of go like that. And then let's see if we can squeeze this puppy in here. I think we can just sort of squeeze them in like that. Here we go. Okay, so just wanted some interest on there, okay? Now, this does take longer to dry because it's a pigment ink. It's a wet ink. It's like Versamark. So let's just set this box aside for now and cut out some other elements. Alrighty. My pieces. I've got a piece of basic white. I've got a piece of pecan, and I've got a piece of cloud cover. Okay, so let's cut out a frame. Now this is from Nested Essentials Dies. Okay, so let's do that first. Okay. You may have seen this box from last year. I did it for a Christmas card set. So if it looks familiar, that's why. So now we've got this. Grab my scrap. I'm going to add some color to this. So I've got Pool Party, and I've got a blending brush. So we're going to just load that up. We're going to start off the page and come on. And you might think, well, why don't you just use a piece of Pool Party ink, a paper, instead of doing it? Because it's not going to be as dark. It's still going to look white, or light at least, and give us just some interest color, so it's not so stark. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to cut out this image from the dies out of the cloud cover. Let's trim that off a bit. And then we've got, through beautiful Stampin' Up, we've got a die that cuts out this, because we just cut out something similar on our card, right? Love it. Don't you love it when there's actually a framelit kind of die? Okay, so we've got platform 1, platform 2, plate 3, plate 3. Okay, then we're going to go take that over and run it through our machine. Oops, interesting. I noticed that, thank goodness, before I started. I always use repositionable tape to hold these in place, because they tend to shift sometimes. And I use the piece over and over and over again until it loses its stickiness, which is quite a while actually. But clearly it had lost its stick because it shifted before I could run it through. Okay. And if you stamp something, you sure as heck don't want it to shift when you're putting it through the stamping cut in the glass, right? Because you know, when you've stamped, it's even worse when you stamp an image and then you color it all in, and then you're still, it shifts and you're all done all that work for nothing. Okay. Who else? Anybody else? Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. I've got people from all over North Carolina and Virginia and Sydney, Australia and Ontario. And wow, it's just like so exciting. Come on. Give. Give, give, give. That's what these little, I don't know what you call them, little guides, little holes. And if you can get it started, you can just peel it off. You might have to go and poke a few extras out, like the little pieces that are sticking. That happens. Oops. Don't rip it, Allison. Oh, am I taking out? I thought, am I taking out the right thing? Good thing I'm not a surgeon, you guys. I'd be cutting out the wrong parts. Okay. Well, I'll help if I move that. Okay, I think we got them all, do we? I think so. So, yep, good. And then we'll just get rid of all of that stuff. And always put my dies back so I don't lose them. That would be pretty, eh? Just as a piece. I'm going to keep that because that on a card could look quite pretty. Hi, Brenda over there on my border buddy. Nice to see you. Okay, so we've got those two and those two, and then we just have to cut one more out, and then we can start assembling. Hopefully this isn't too much to show you in one sitting. You're still hanging in there. Never been more than 30 minutes, and I think I'm up to 40. Oh well, hang in there. I'm almost done. You want to see the grand finale. Plus you want to see some other samples, right? Because that's what you come for, to see other samples. Other ideas, right? Okay, there we go. All right. So here's our little piece. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to wrap some ribbon around here. So let me grab some ribbon. Don't ask me why this is off the spool, okay? Just put that on ignore you. It's just one of those things. I don't think that's long enough. Nope. Where's the end? I'll tell you why, because you're now probably wondering why. Because when I cut for a class, they get 5 yards. They get half a roll of it. And it was creased. This ribbon was like creased and it was bothering me. I didn't want to send it to a customer, so I thought, oh, I'll just keep it and use it. So that's why. Okay, so we're going to wrap that around, leaving our ends. So we've got enough ends, right? Clean that up. That might be better. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to hold this in place with some tear and tape. You guys are so quiet. Like either you're so quiet or you've left entirely. Don't know. Mary's over on YouTube. You can watch me on YouTube, you guys, live. If you subscribe to my channel, Stamp Crazy with Allison, you will be alerted and you can go over and watch it there. Plus, if you subscribe, you can check out my other lives. Okay. Whoop. Might have shortchanged myself a little bit on my ribbon. Yeah, it looks like I have. We're going to keep going. You know what we're going to do? We're going to tie it as a loose knot instead. And I'll show you my original box that has it as a bow. Just have to adapt. Life's all about adapting, right? We'll just do it like that. Okay, and then we'll trim those off so we've got a nice little tail. There we go. Okay. All right, next, you're just playing around. That's okay, Christine. I'm glad I didn't lose anybody. All right, so we've got our nice blue one. Oh, isn't that pretty? Can you guys see how pretty that is? So pretty. I'm going to put that off a little bit at an angle there. And then I'm going to go in with our stamped one. And then finally we've got our other stamped one. So then I've layered those all on. Can you see that? I've layered them on the way I want them. I'm going to gently remove them. And I'm going to take my tear and tape and hold those in place somewhat. Because you can always go back and play with this. If you don't like the angle, I can play with this a bit. Okay, that looks good to me though. That's fine. Okay, now, just like in our card, when we held these little pieces in place, we used our dimensionals, right? So it just saves me a step of having to glue this down. I can just use my dimensionals as my glue. Okay, that goes there. I think this is, always use all the little edges here. Okay, go. All right, so let's get this all off. Like that. Okay, all right. Still here? Oh, good, Alexina. Good. Okay, so we're just going to glue that down. Pop that up, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's all popped up. And then we're going to glue that to our box. I think I can do that now. I was going to wait, but I think I can do it now. I hear my dog. She's come in from the outside looking for trouble. She's a bit of a troublemaker. She just knows that she's really cute, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now I want to, remember when we cut these little tabs here are going to form the box. So we're going to cut and, well, it's tear and tape, but I'm going to cut it because sometimes when I tear it, it doesn't cooperate as well for this kind of box. So we're going to put those on all 6 little tabs. I'm not using too much tape. You don't need a lot of tape. Okay. Oop. There we go. And oop. Okay. So now we're just going to take the tape off of these. So I'm going to do this one and this one. And I think I actually remove them all, you know, which could be dangerous, but I'm going to do that. Let's see. So now we're just going to fold this in like so, line up the edges like that, and line up the edges. Whoops, let's get you on camera. Line up the edges. Okay, so now we've got those lined up. And then we're going to line up these edges like that. So just like that. And line up these edges. So it's sort of just, it just easily just folds in. Okay. I guess it's getting to be the end of the, well, I know it's the end of the school year, but you can really tell today because there was absolutely zero parking. I live on a side street, but it leads right to the middle school. And I guess the grade 8s are graduating to go on to high school. And it's a French immersion school. So well, I don't know how much of the population of the school is from other catchment areas. So it's not like the parents can just walk here for the grad. Anyways, it was like some sort of, I don't know, it's like Armageddon almost. Okay, so that's our box. Okay. And then let's put a word on there. So let's grab our pecan. Let's do our exact same thing we did before. We're going to grab our embossing buddy, give it a nice swipe, get rid of all that oil. And this time I'm going to use Thinking of You. Stamp Thinking of You. I don't know why I can't stamp straight. Don't know. There we go. Add that. I'm a dumper. Some of you are dippers and some of you are dumpers. I'm a dumper, which means I dump the powder on and get it all back. And then, so let's heat set that. And remember, when you're heat setting, it's going to heat up really fast once it gets going. So you don't want to leave it too long in the same area. And you don't want to treat your embossing heat tool like it's some sort of magic wand. So you keep it steady and then gradually move across your project. Okay, so what I mean is you don't go like this, like a fairy godmother. Okay, so let's cut this one. Okay, and then let's cut this one. There we go. And then we'll just do our words. Whoop. Okay, let's move all of this out of the way because we're almost done. And then we're going to pop up our saying. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the one end, so the right side, but the left side, this is already popped up. So what we're going to do is add some glue to that. So glue on one end, pop Stampin' Dimensional on the other. Okay. Now I didn't think I would put any kind of embellishments on here, but I suppose we could. Might as well, because I got tons of these. Plus I can put the bigger ones on this one because it's got a larger surface, right, than those little note cards. Okay. All right. So that's the box. Now this is the one I made earlier with the piece of ribbon that was actually long enough. Okay. And then we'll just go back through and we'll show you the cards again. So we've got our card number 1, which is the easy, right? Then we've got the one that's a little bit stepped up. Okay, a little bit stepped up. And then we've got our stepped up a little bit more, and then kind of our star. Now, I included in my box the envelopes that come with the note cards because they do fit. Oop. But look, you've hardly got any space to write. So great. All you can say is to so-and-so, love so-and-so. There you go. Okay, so that's the box project and the cards. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now, let me grab, real quick, oh, she says, oh, here we are, some cards. Oh, hi, Kathy. Yes, catch the replay. I'll be off in about 2 minutes and you can catch the replay, okay? So here's some more cards made with that set, or that suite. And so we've got this one, and I don't know if you can see, but this is the framelit for this has been cut out of a piece of paper and used as a stencil. So it gives that offset. Simple, 2 colors, nice. Sort of like monochromatic. I love it too, Ellie. I do. Okay, and then this is one that I made. Again, not too many colors. I like pink. I love that pretty in pink. And then, of course, this is very, very similar, just at a different angle. Okay. So I've made these on previous videos, so go check it out. I actually have a playlist on my YouTube channel for Beautiful Gallery. Okay. And this is one we did together a couple weeks ago. I colored the designer series paper. So this one here, the paper's left plain, and this one I colored it with Stampin' Blends. So you see both different ones there. And then I've got this one. This one was to highlight the beautiful designer series paper because it's so hard to cut it. But if you cut it in panels, the scenery goes across. Really pretty. Okay, so those are some extra cards. And let me remind you here. Oof, here's what we did. It's our card today. And that's our box. Move all of this stuff out of the way. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that. No, oh, one more thing. If you join my class, you're also going to get 12 additional projects. You're going to get a tutorial with 12 projects and 12 videos. So that comes as a bonus for anyone who joins the class. Yes, it would be a nice gift, wouldn't it, Bobby? I agree. Or you could do little cards. You could just make the box, right? And still use this set or whatever, different colors. I was thinking maybe if you wanted to give a bride some thank you cards, those would be a nice size, right? Yes, I love it, Ellie. I love it. Okay, what else have you guys got to say? Nobody over there. Did I get everybody? Thank you. Okay, you guys, you're awesome. Sorry I kept you. Gosh, 50 minutes. I'm so sorry. Thank you for sticking with me. I promise you, if you ever come back, I'm usually 25 minutes. Okay, but this was a bit more involved. Okay, so I'll see you again hopefully on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, right here on my Facebook and my YouTube channel. So, you guys have a great rest of the day, and I hope you get some crafting time in this week. Bye for now.